So we are here today to discuss something which is going on around us. That's nothing other than the World T20 happening, and we thought of like do a small roundup on what happening. Obviously, I'm going to speak about the New Zealand's perspective and just journey, and obviously you are so excited about Sri Lanka going to the Super 8. So let me start from you because as a New Zealand fan, I'm quite used to it. Yeah, of course, you can say I'm boasting. We have been to Super 8 semi-finals, finals most of the time, but it's been a while that Sri Lanka went there. So how does the feeling about Sri Lanka going to the Super 8?
Okay, so basically, I thought of going easy on you, but the question that you started with, I do not know whether that's a dig at me or probably surely not so such a humble start, but nevertheless, all right. Well, I can't deny those facts, but to begin with, you know, I would rather say not excited,
Yeah.
probably relieved
Mm.
and grateful. I would put it that way because,
Okay.
obviously
Okay.
after the third T20 in Pallekele against England,
Mm.
the risk of
Mm.
being eliminated in the first round was extremely high. And I mean, if you really
True.
look at this group, this turned out to be the group of death. Yeah, New Zealand, South Africa, and Afghanistan was a risky group, but I mean, both the
Yeah.
teams
True.
went through obviously with drama. But
True.
when you actually look at this, the Sri Lankan group, I saw something on X where somebody had said that when Sri Lanka won on Monday, they weren't actually saving Zimbabwe, they were saving themselves. And that's
Yeah.
true because
True. True. True.
Zimbabwe was always going to be a tough opponent at Ketarama.
True.
And
True.
so, despite all that, I mean, to be in the Super 8, I think, yeah, grateful and relieved. And the excitement part is good in Dushan because I think what you highlighted regarding the excitement part, yesterday you were there at Ketarama, right? And
True. True.
on on a Thursday afternoon for a 3 p.m. start, to have that many people in the ground with that atmosphere, only
Mm.
few weeks
Mm.
after, there were obvious calls for boycott of the game,
True. True.
I
True.
think that's a massive turnaround. So I think uh, grateful and relieved.
Yeah. I mean, I would say since you spoke about this group of 10, if I have to say, every group had some sort of risk element. Whether it's like the New Zealand's group, obviously we had three strong contenders. Same with Sri Lanka because again a very strong group and like three strong contenders were there. At the same time, even if you take this England, West Indies group, Scotland or Nepal or anyone could pull off a like uh, what do you call it? Is it okay to call that as an upset? Yeah, yeah. I mean, in cricketing terms, but like I'm being very, very, very what do you call it as diplomatic. But these teams have been really, really doing well. And even if you take the India versus Pakistan group, nothing is guaranteed unless Netherlands drop that catch against USA going this time also. So it's always there, and I'm really happy about Sri Lanka's turnaround. To be honest, because everyone likes when Sri Lanka plays well, because that's a strong Sri Lankan team, a strong West Indies team is obviously needed for the health of the tournament or the health of the world cricket and for all these things. I would ask you this question because as you know that we all 90s kids, this nothing traumatize us than the word called Australia, and that yellow jersey is our Halloween costume. How was it to Sri Lanka knocking out Australia on a very, and that's also after a very sloppy start. The 10 overs. I would say if you see the social media, when the power play is done, fans have been started to ask like, when is the Zimbabwe game? Right? Because that was the disbelief. But still, from that point to come to contain Aussies and to win these things, how was the feeling?
I mean, let's not have any reservations about celebrating that victory. I mean, as you said, it was a game which was like the typical script for a dream game, right? You know, there are games you win where you play right well right from the onset and win. That's brilliant. But here, the context, it was a sold out crowd. And ironically, few weeks before, this was the stadium where we had absolutely nosedived against England, and people were booing, and there was a lot of bitter taste left. And you cannot forget the loss against India in 2024, if you remember the 30-20. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
context was set, and then the way Marsh and Travis Head were going, like I honestly had fears of that 2016 260 odd being put in. And let's not
True.
forget, you don't have Vanindu Hasaranga, and then you have Matisha Patirana walking off the field after 1 over, and then Dasun Shanaka gets exposed. Then to add to that, Kusal Mendis drops a stomping of Josh English. We all know how terrifying he could be. And obviously, as Mumbai Indians fans, you and I know very well the trauma he left in
My
the last
God, my
IPL.
God, my God. Yeah, true, true,
And then
true.
on top of that, you dropped Glenn Maxwell. I mean, at that point, I watched from a time zone where when all these things were happening, it was around one, probably 1 o'clock, 12:50, and I had to wake up the next morning at 6:30, and I was wondering why the hell on earth am I watching this? But Indushan, the moment Patum took that catch,
Mm,
the
mm,
key
mm,
thing is, you remember, I mean, I'm pretty sure that you
mm.
will celebrate that fact as a New Zealand fan and as a Glenn Phillips fan. You remember what happened in 2022 when Sri Lanka played
True.
New Zealand in Sydney. We were in with a
Yeah.
chance of qualifying for the next round or the semi-finals. And
I
then
mean,
Patum drops.
unless for Patham's drop, I'm sure that it's not New Zealand who is going from the group, or New Zealand or Sri Lanka or England or Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka
And,
must be definitely going for the
and
semis.
you wouldn't have been boasting about making it to the semi-finals as a habit. Like, I wouldn't have had to listen to that. But then again, this is the trauma you carry as a Sri Lankan fan, right? I mean, you know
True,
that well.
true,
And
true.
from that point onwards, you got the feeling from the moment that catch was taken. You see, Kusal Jani took the catch of Cooper Connolly, and
Mm.
Kusal Jani taking a catch, running catch is a
It's a
thing to
miracle itself.
celebrate, as we saw yesterday. And then I think Mahesh Tikshana did well, and almost everybody did well. So the turnaround,
Mm,
to be very honest, Indushan, at the innings break, I felt confident we might chase this down. It was no reason. It was
mm,
just the intuition, the way things
mm.
were going, and then
True, true.
I mean, we need not talk about what transpired after that. But the key thing is, young boys together with Kusal and then Pawan Ratnayaka, it was brilliant. I mean, Indushan, you go back to the places we have
Mm,
aced in the recent past. There is a fanatic finish, and you pass the line. But this was like,
sure.
when you see Lebanetta,
Um, வீடியோ வந்து சரியா ஸ்மஜ் ஆகி வருது. ஓகே. இப்போ ஓகே. இப்போ ஓகே. பை. நான் அந்த அந்த இடையில கொஞ்ச
Yeah,
நேரம்
okay.
கட்
So
பண்ணி
ideal on
விட்டேன்.
edit பண்ணல. Yeah.
ஷூர், ஷூர், ஷூர்.
So that shot over திருப்பி காட் பண்ணி எடுக்கிறேன்னா
ம்,
yeah, so the shot over third man, that was phenomenal. So but what we need to be mindful is Indushan, you know, it's brilliant. It takes you back in time. We celebrated, it got the whole country back, backing the team, and that's what you saw yesterday at
ம்,
Ketarama. And I'm
ம்,
pretty sure
ம்.
that if the rain stays away, Pallekale is going to be no different. And next Wednesday, obviously, we are going to meet you, and hopefully the rain stays away and you would be there at the ground. But you know, that's phenomenal. But we had to be mindful, like the importance of that victory will be determined only by how this team turns up in the next few games.
True,
and
true, true.
and you know, we have had enough experiences, right? You remember the Asela Gunaratna heroics in uh, Geelong in 2017, if I remember right. Champions Trophy 2017 at the Oval. And then Pallekale 2022, Dubai 2022, the Asia Cup final. We have had enough and more sparks, but you know, we haven't followed that up. So
Mm.
whatever this win is going to be remembered is going to be determined by what's going to happen in the next few games and how they turn up. And unfortunately, they didn't turn up on Thursday.
True, 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 true. And just wanted to give you another question. Maybe I don't know. It's. Sorry for putting you in the spot. How much this Zimbabwe's win, against Sri Lanka, or Sri Lanka's loss against Zimbabwe, will be a momentum killer going forward?
Yeah, that's, you know that I really love that concept called momentum. You know, it's
Yes.
a beautiful
All of
thing.
us. All of us. Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. It has this,
Mm.
what do you call, the ripple effect, the butterfly effect, and all those kind of things fall in place. And that's why I
True.
felt the moment Kusal Jani dropped that catch of Hamish Bennett early on, it started going south. And from that
Yes.
period onwards, the fielding was not there. But you know, but it's good in a way as well, Indushan, because you know, now this group stage doesn't matter. So you're starting
Mm.
from zero. The batters will
Mm.
have the confidence. The bowlers,
Mm.
you know, they at least know what went wrong. Because mind
Mm.
you,
Mm.
Zimbabwe were brilliant. I mean, like the shots Ryan played, your favorite Sikandar Raza played, you know, those were phenomenal. I mean, like they batted so sensibly. And what I noted
Mm.
there was the Sri Lankan bowling was put under pressure because they played a smart game. And if
True. True.
Ireland
True.
had played a similar game, you remember, I can't remember who the batter was, when Vanidu was bowling his last over, somebody
Sure.
threw his
Sure.
wicket away. I think might have been Tucker, if I remember. I can't remember
Mm-hmm.
exactly who it
It
was.
mostly it should be him because he's the
Yeah.
one who batted the cricket.
So Zimbabwe showed Sri Lanka clearly that when you are up against a team that's very smart and is going to play the gap, keep the intensity on the field. I mean, the fielding was brilliant. I think Zimbabwe saved about 10 runs and we conceded about 20 runs. So there was a 30 runs
Sure.
difference. So I think it's
Sure.
a good slap on the face for Sri Lanka to wake them up from that that euphoria from the victory against Australia.
Mm,
The
mm,
momentum is
mm,
lost, unfortunately. You know, the momentum
mm,
is lost. Winning is a habit, and all those things are
mm,
there.
mm,
But then
mm,
it was a good wake up call. It would have made them reflect on a lot of things. And I think the bowlers will become, I would say, you know, you at least know this is why it didn't work. And probably
mm,
when we
mm,
come against New
mm.
Zealand on Wednesday, I think it's a night game, right? If I remember right, that's
Yeah.
a
So
night game on Wednesday.
all the Super
Yeah.
Eights are going to be night games, and Sri Lanka
No,
plays.
no. A few of the Eight games are day games, Machan. Like,
Ah,
they
so
are afternoon games. Yeah,
even for Sri Lanka. Okay.
The England Sri Lanka game is an afternoon game,
Oh.
and
Okay.
then Sri Lanka Pakistan is a night game, and then there are a few other. Zimbabwe has a
True.
day afternoon game. But
Yeah.
I mean, why I said that is like, you know, how they play the conditions is going to be critical, and I think
Mm, mm,
and I think that's the key. So you have to reflect a lot, but I think the player who will be affected the most will be Mahesh Tikshana. Like that was a proper hammering. And I mean, I felt honestly, I mean, having said that, I think we need to be very mindful of the fact that whatever that's going on social media right now, the mudslinging, which is getting very personal, is not actually acceptable. You know,
I
you
know,
can
I know, I
criticize the
know. Yeah, true,
player's
true.
performance, but I don't think anybody has the right to talk about their hair coloring or whatever that they choose or the way they
True.
live. You know, that's not, that's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
that's
But having
true.
said that, you know, it was so disappointing for an experienced player to come and put that long hop with 8 needed of 6. You know, that was 50-50. 8 needed of 6, you put
Mm.
two good balls, you never know. So I think all those
Yeah,
are good. It's a good wake up call. The momentum is lost, but it's good in a way that you're starting from scratch again.
yeah, true, 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 true. And I just really wanted to ask you a question about, because as neutral fan, because now we'll just detach from Sri Lanka for a while and see so many teams who are first timers, and so many teams who are seasonal campaigners, but they are associates like Netherlands and Scotland. Scotland, of course, came in a very unpredictable way inside. But just tell me, like, how much you are impressed by them, because I'm super impressed by the way they played. And if I have to ask from the Nepal, and they actually nearly took down England, and then Netherlands again. Like Pakistan was cruising at one point, and suddenly Netherlands came and they started winning the match, and then they lost it. Likewise, yeah, even UAE scored a decent amount of runs. Canada scored around 180 against New Zealand. Probably a good bowling lineup, and I would say they all super impressive, aren't they?
Yeah, they were extremely impressive, and I think that's good for the game. I mean, to be very honest, I don't think I followed many of those games. Some of those games I was able to follow, and the team that impressed me the most in Dushan was USA. Like you know that,
Absolutely,
yeah, the
absolutely.
fast bowler. I think Saurabh Netravalekar had a
Netravel,
off.
Netravel.
He was good, but you know didn't actually perform the way you expected him
Yeah,
to. But
yeah,
the
yeah.
other two, I think one of them was one of the highest wicket takers when I saw yesterday with 13 wickets. The one who
True, true.
got the wickets against India early on, and I
The
honestly can't
South
pronounce it.
African born guy. Yeah, yeah, the
Yeah, yeah,
South
yeah.
African born guy. I know.
And then the one with Pakistani heritage, if I'm right,
Yeah,
Khan,
that
who
Ali
got
Khan,
injured.
Ali Khan.
Ali
Yeah.
Khan, he was super impressive. So and I think yeah, I mean, there's a Sri Lankan connection there. Pubudu Dasanayaka and Dhammika Prasad were with the US
True,
team, and I
true,
think
true.
one of them had told that it was their bad luck that they had to face Pakistan and India first up.
Mm,
And you know, they were
mm,
super impressive against Namibia, Netherlands, and they
mm,
actually made a statement. And they
mm.
said that, you know, had the schedule been the other way around, you never know. And I think against Pakistan they
True,
would have fancied their chances. So I think
true,
USA was
true,
super
true.
impressive, as you said. Netherlands have always been impressive, isn't it, Indushan? Like I think they
Yeah,
beat South
obviously.
Africa some time back.
And they
And
beat Bangladesh also in the last
exactly. And
ODI World Cup, and they did it. So, what I'm
and
really, as you said,
everybody
like,
everybody everybody beats Bangladesh except Sri Lanka, unfortunately.
no, I mean, the good times are coming. Good times are coming. Sri Lanka did beat them in the first round of Asia Cup, and I was so happy about it. But like, things will come to good again. But I'm
So
in terms of, yeah,
yeah, on that note, Indushan, so Netherlands have always been good. So they turned up. And then Nepal, I mean, they were fabulous, right? I mean, they beat South Africa last time. And, you know, that fan base is brilliant. It's
they
amazing. Like, you know,
literally colonized
yeah,
Mumbai as
yeah.
from Nepal, and they
So,
actually and they played some really good cricket, honestly.
and, and that's what the game needs, right? You don't want to be honest, Indushan, like before the tournament, I was somebody who believed, look, it should be 8 teams, the top 8 teams, each team playing the other seven, like the format we had
ODI
for the
World Cup, ODI World Cup,
23
right?
and 19 World Cup. And maybe it's good
Mm,
for the 50 over World Cup because the disparity between teams are bigger. So I think somewhere down the line, ICC has got the right mix where if they get in, I mean, if they get the T20 tournament to be about this many teams. It's brilliant. So overall, I mean, I absolutely loved. I mean, you can't call Zimbabwe an associate or an emerging team, but look where they are right now. And I kind of have a feeling they might pull off a win or two. I would really back them to win against South Africa and West Indies. It might be a little bit. I think they are playing in Delhi and Mumbai, right? Delhi and I can't
Right.
remember
Yeah. Yeah.
where.
Yeah.
Oh, Ahmed,
Chennai, they are playing against India. Chennai,
India.
they are playing against India. But that will be
And
a
if they pull
little
off,
bit
if
tough ground because,
if
yeah.
they
So,
pull it off against India, it will be, but they can't.
my God. Yeah.
But
I mean, because you never know these kind of things in cricket because before the start of the World Cup, none of us predicted Abhishek Sharma to have three ducks in a row, right?
do,
And,
do,
and
don't worry, don't worry. I have a feeling South Africa, Ahmedabad, he is going to go berserk. He's gonna settle the score versus South Africa. I have a feeling.
I'm pretty sure because he must be now reached out to Yuvraj for some emergency help. And for me, as you said, the surprising part of the World Cup is to have US team keeping India to that score. I think they lost their 5 wickets for around 70 or something. And mind you,
77 for
out of the
6.
top 77 for
77
6.
for 6.
And
Win that.
yeah. So, and the interesting part is, out of the top six, five have enough experience in playing in Mumbai, either for Mumbai Indians or for Maharashtra. Dubey play for Maharashtra. Except Abhishek Sharma, everyone has tons of experience playing in Mumbai. But to
USA
come
team.
there,
Uh,
yeah, I mean that's what they say because
it's a India you call C or D. So, but nevertheless, it's
yeah,
good. I mean, you have a and your friend Trump wish for them. So I was just thinking when Trump gets to know about this US team, probably he might go and say, hey, who are you guys playing for us? But there was this tweet with the ambassador and all that, and it's good. So yeah, so
yeah. I am really happy that he didn't post a tweet as if you defeat USA, the victory margin will be a new tariff. I'm so happy that he didn't do that, right? So overall, it was a very, very, very nice turnout for the World Cup, and I'm been also fingers crossed. And so many of my Indian friends have already sending me messages like, let Sri Lanka qualify for the knockouts. I said like, guys, as a former Sri Lankan fan, and I know the Sri Lankan cricket team, we always keep the expectation as low as possible because that's how we have been trained and tamed for the past 10, 15 years in terms of watching. So that's fantastic to see this. But we wanted to send wishes to all the team, and obviously, if England, I mean, if New Zealand and Sri Lanka can qualify from the round, I will be so happy because that eliminates England because I have something with them after 19 World Cup, and then we'll see how these things goes. And definitely after the Super 8 round, we'll do another
but
round of call.
before but before we go, you asked me a lot of questions about Sri Lanka. Now,
Yeah, sure.
I was just curious. Will I mean, again, as I told you, I didn't follow each and every game fully. So, Bracewell, will he be back for Super 8s or is there
No,
any?
I don't think so because they just posted a post
Oh.
calling that he is injured and he's at the moment, but they didn't replace him with anyone, so that's another
Yeah.
one.
So, because, but
Ferguson will be, yeah. I mean,
so,
so
and I think like you know, how do you feel about New Zealand? I have an opinion on this, but how do you feel about them playing all their three games in Ketarama, and all three are night games, if I remember right? All three
yeah. I
games
mean,
at Ketarama.
it's it's a mixed feeling to be honest, right? So what I was expecting them to go through in the first round, they are going to go through in the second round. When they said okay, they are going to play three matches in Chennai out of their first four. This thing, traditionally we know Chennai has been a very low turner and all these things. And obviously, I'm really afraid. At that time, I was really afraid of Afghanistan because of their spin attack they have.
Mm,
But Chennai seems to be a very flat ground, and they
good
did
pen.
well, and they really go through. Them playing at Ketarama, I'm happy because I will be able to go and see them all three matches. Yeah, sure. But again, toss will play a very crucial role. But I'm very, I would say, a little bit optimistic because they have the bowling attack, uh, which is very versatile to contain any team to 150, 160. If they can contain anyone to 150, 160, including Sri Lanka or Pakistan, because England doesn't have a very good spinning attack other than the Dawson and Rashid, and they will be able to go negotiate both of them. So these two,
Can
Pakistan
they
and Sri Lanka,
negotiate? Can they negotiate Jacob Better?
Okay, they will find a way. I mean, they in that five match series, they dismissed Abhishek Sharma for low score twice and once for a duck. So I know that if you can find a way against Abhishek Sharma, you will definitely find a way against
No, 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 no.
KL.
I asked whether they can tackle Jacob Bettel's spin. You said
Yeah,
they
yeah,
can
yeah.
take. Okay, let's
True,
see.
true. I'm confident about them. I'm confident about them. Not that I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm confident about them. Fingers crossed. I'm expecting them to go through the from the this thing to the Super 8 group to the semis, and as I said, like my heart says Sri Lanka, brain says it might Pakistan. I don't put my bet on England, to be honest, not because I don't like them, but like I understand that the way they played, they were just lucky that they got their ground sorted in most of the time on Kolkata and
Mm.
Mumbai. If they had some other ground, they would have struggled a lot because of obvious reasons, and that's one of the reasons what I'm really there. So hopefully, I'm fingers crossed. Tomorrow, if the rain leaves steps side, we might see New Zealand and Pakistan playing at each other.
So, like, how good are? I mean, we all know that you know they have a power pack batting lineup. You have Tim Seifert, Finn Allen in
True.
super form. Probably one of the best opening pairs going around in this tournament.
Mm,
And then you have Rachin Ravindra, who has had a indifferent form, I
exactly.
believe.
Went down.
Not
Yeah.
that I believe it has been indifferent. He's not what he was in 2023. When I'm
Mm.
commenting about New Zealand, I want to be very careful because we are going to face them. Sri Lanka is going to face New Zealand. And I mean, as you have known over 2 decades of association, whatever I say comes back to bite when those teams come up against Sri Lanka. So,
Yeah.
but I have had the feeling that, when it comes to spin, they have been reliant on Mark Chapman and Daryl Mitchell. I mean, both of them have played
A lot.
absolutely brilliantly, so
A lot.
brilliantly.
A lot. And a
Now,
bit of Glenn Phillips also. Phillips also
yeah,
can
so
tackle them.
down the order. And but I have a feeling that Pakistan might come with a spin barrage against New
They will.
Zealand.
They will. They will. They
And
will. Because mm,
and how do you think that's going to impact the dynamics of the opening pair, which has been significant in New Zealand's journey so far?
so I would say, like, okay, I need to quote Ian Smith here. So Ian Smith says always the final and strike rate is awesome. Success rate is the problem, right? So and he certainly doesn't like spin in the first 2 overs. He loves pace. And if you remember, even in the 2022 World Cup, Sri Lanka was smart enough to use spin to get him out because he was in a red hot form at that time also. So
Yeah.
Seifert will
He had
be
scored
a
100.
key.
He had scored 100 in the first game against Australia or something, right?
Yes,
Was it
yes, yes.
100? He had
Yeah,
scored
no,
some
he
big run.
didn't. Yeah, he was around 70 or something, but
Oh yeah,
he really did the
but he took
damage.
that.
He
He took that brilliant catch. Was it Phillips or
At
somebody? I
Phillips,
can't.
Phillips. That's
Oh, okay,
Phillips.
okay.
That's
I
Phillips.
remember.
That's Phillips.
Okay.
So I would say Finn Allen hitting Pakistani spinners in the power play would be for me is an added advantage. It's a bonus for us. I am expecting Cypher to tackle the spin better than him because Cypher did. Seifert actually against both UAE and even in UAE, South Africa, and Afghanistan, Seifert was better than Finn Allen in terms of tackling the spin. So that will be a key moment. And obviously, as you said, the middle order, Mitchell, uh, Mitchell, and then we have
Nisha.
Phillips and
Nisha.
Chapman. They will be the key. And Nisham didn't fire this entire series, so he need to give a big finish, because this is where Nisham definitely come into play, because he never the requirement for him to bat never arrived in the first round, so he will definitely be a part here. And my biggest, I would say, the New Zealand's success will depend on how, because Chapman will tackle Ayub and Shadab Khan, because Nawaz is a lefty, he will be able to negotiate him. But these two are dangerous, and especially Ayub. Definitely, even P Dog rated him higher because he's the best among the Pakistani spinners. Everybody's feared about Usman Tariq, but technically Usman Tariq, uh, he can be tackled in my point of view. I mean, the fraction of delay which he has is the biggest problem, but I think teams will figure it out. But my biggest worry is Ayub, because Ayub will be definitely a big problem to Chapman, because Chapman is needed because he hits boundaries in the mid overs. He never let the mid overs dry. So that's the thing that I'm fingers crossed. Let me see.
Interesting. So yeah, I mean, you can go on talking about different facets, but I hope the rain stays away and you have a good start tomorrow. And
Hopefully, I'm just really like, I'm fingers crossed. I'm going to be there, and hopefully they can win it and they can start it, because I don't want them to lose. Because this technically in this round you want your favorite team to win all three, right? Because
yeah,
I am sure it will come to
yeah,
net run rate, because each team can beat anyone, so it's
yeah, it's going to be. And I think you had to throw the rain in as well. Some of those games are going to be washed out, I guess. I saw
yeah.
the
So then
forecast.
that
I
it's not
saw the
that good.
forecast, and but the good thing is that most of the time the forecast in Sri Lanka it happens the other way. So
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
see.
Even it was predicted for the India versus Pakistan game. Thankfully, it didn't come. So I'm expecting it to stay the same tomorrow also. We will see how it goes.
But I think that's another aspect which is overlooked in this context because you spoke about momentum. Now, momentum from a cricketing perspective, we always talk about, but like the positive attraction Sri Lanka has got from the India-Pakistan game, and I think Bami Ami had also posted something on their
Beautiful,
official
beautiful. Yeah.
page, and with all those positive feelings coming, if the Super 8s gets washed off due to rain and if rain plays a major part, it's going to have a implication not only on the outcome of the group stage, which is not what you want in a world tournament, and especially on the back of what happened in the Women's World Cup.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to be lost. So I think I mean, really concerned about the weather as well. Hopefully it stays away. But
We actually
nevertheless,
had a washout. We actually had a washout, but
yeah.
everyone was happy because the washout will ensure that Australia is out, right?
Yeah, but
So
then
we
again, that was a critical washout, not because of the
sure.
result. I mean, Zimbabwe would have beaten Ireland, but that was a high stakes match. There was a
Yeah,
lot
true.
on show.
True, true. Because I mean, that's what I say. Because there are times that people will tolerate the washout, but not always. So hopefully we can see how these things works and how these things goes about, and we will hopefully have a very good game, and we'll have a very good Super 8, and we will be able to come back and do this with both of our favorite teams being qualified to the semis and in a happy manner to the
I
second
can
round of
assure
this.
you. I mean, we decided to do this only because of what happened on Monday, and after yesterday, I had many contemplations
Yeah,
on
but
whether
like,
we should do this or not. But nevertheless,
true,
let's see how
true,
it goes.
true. Sure, sure, sure. So we will soon catch up with you with another round of what happened in the Super 8, and we will analyze both groups as we did this time. And see you soon.
See you. Bye.